Hello and welcome to the Battlefield Hardline closed beta. This is going to be a quick kind of first impressions video of what I think about this game, some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, and ultimately whether I think it's worth my pre-order money at this point. So first off, when compared to other Battlefield titles, the first thing you'll probably notice is that it's not a Battlefield game really in the sense of nations fighting each other in a war. But it's rather a cops and robbers style game, so cops fighting robbers over money. That has upset some of the die-hard Battlefield fans. Doesn't really bother me, but I can understand, I guess, a little bit of why would you call a game like this Battlefield when it's not really a battlefield. Okay, so enough about the ideological disputes over the name. The real question everybody wants to have answered is, how is the netcode, how is the online experience in Battlefield Hardline compared to Battlefield 4? We all know the awful rocky start that Battlefield 4 has had and the extremely slow process of trying to fix the issues with the netcode. We all know major issues such as rubber banding and awful hit rate have really killed the multiplayer experience for Battlefield 4 for a lot of players. So the good news is that Battlefield Hardline is miles and miles better than Battlefield 4, even in its current state. The first thing I noticed right off the bat with Hardline is that I have very little or even no issues with my hit reg, rubber banding, kill trades, things like that, which have plagued my experience in Battlefield 4. So this is really good news for anybody that's interested in the Battlefield Hardline game. This is really good news for anybody like me that was worried about the online experience in Battlefield Hardline. Some other things that I like is, one, the weapon handling. Weapons have a lot more recoil, which is nice. It's going to take a bit more skill to spray long bursts of automatic fire and control your recoil. Another thing I like is really the infantry focus of this game, with the vehicles being a supporting role. There aren't any tanks or other vehicles that are going to dominate a round. It's really about the infantry, close quarters, street fighting combat, which is a really nice change of pace from other Battlefield games. Again, some people may not like that. Okay, so now I'll move on to a few of the things that I don't like initially about Battlefield Hardline. And really the biggest glaring thing for me has been the art, the direction that the game has gone in terms of its look. And I don't mean graphically, I just mean its look and feel. It really looks and feels cartoony to me, especially when compared to, say, Battlefield 4, which they use the same engine. And for me personally, I would just like to see a more realistic art approach to this game. Now, who's to say? I mean, it could perhaps change in the future, but something tells me this is pretty much how the game is going to look. Now, it's not a deal breaker, it's just I would prefer a more realistic looking shooter in this respect. And this leads into my next negative, which is just the graphics overall. The game really feels like a step back in a lot of ways from Battlefield 4. Now again, it is beta, and there will be updates to textures and things like that. But even where it is right now, compared to the Battlefield 4 beta, it really just doesn't seem like they've utilized the Frostbite engine as well as the DICE team did up to this point. And the biggest thing you're going to notice this one is just the character models and the animations. They look, again, really cartoony. They don't look polished at all. Hopefully we'll see some significant improvement to that when the game gets closer to release. And the final kind of negative thought I had off my first impressions is that sometimes the character movement to your control inputs can feel a bit sluggish, particularly when going into sprinting and just moving around in close quarters. It feels kind of awkward at times. Something tells me this is going to be polished up before release. This game really feels tailored to draw in some new faces to the Battlefield community, try and draw in players from other games such as CSGO, Call of Duty, and other first-person titles. Some hardcore Battlefield players will have a problem with the Battlefield title kind of pandering to a different audience. Me personally, I don't have any issue with it. As long as the multiplayer experience is nice and polished, I think Battlefield Hardline will be a successful game. Now with all that being said, based on my first impressions, it hasn't quite run me over yet. For a pre-order, I'll have to see how the game progresses before I decide to give EA any more of my money. That about does it for this video. Again, this was just my first quick impressions of Battlefield Hardline. If you'd like to see more of this game, please be sure to let me know. Leave a comment below, leave a like, subscribe to my channel for other content, and I will see you guys in the next video.